Hello guys. Welcome to my channel. My name is Miracle, Mimi for short. If this is the first time seeing my beautiful face, you are welcome. Guys, I know you guys must have seen this song, the latest song of who is it? Ben Shapiro going up and down with Tom McDonald's. I know you guys have seen it, and I know Ben Shapiro shocked everyone. Ben Shapiro, like, he's surprised and everyone. Nobody could believe that he can rap like that. I was like, when I saw the video, I was like, wow. And if you see the way he was rapping, like, he was rapping so fast. I say he was rapping so fast. Sorry, he was rapping so slow. Like, and if you have ever heard Ben Shapiro talk, you know that he's a fast talker. Like, he talks so fast. Like, he talks very fast. And like, sometimes I wonder how he does that. But guys, he's rapping. It's so slow. He was rapping slow, and he's the first person I've ever seen rapping so slow like that. Ah, Ben Shapiro. Guy, the guy is so talented. I think Ben Shapiro to just switch his niche. I think so. If you agree with me, do let me know in the comment section. So this video now is from Dr. Jordan Peterson. Yeah, and it says, mm, and it says, Jordan Peterson, psychological thoughts on the rap. Wow. It seems like Jordan Peterson is not going to react to this song. Like, it's a logical breakdown of a rap. Wow. Mm. Let's check it out.
Hi, everybody. So, as you may or may not know, although most people know if they're vaguely awake, Ben Shapiro and Tom MacDonald have the #1 song in the world at the moment. And it's very comical because it's a rap song. And just the idea of Ben Shapiro doing rap, hip hop, is comical in and of itself. It's even more comical because, he's been a critic of that particular genre. So it's very interesting to watch Ben step out of his presuppositions, let's say, and also his domain of previous competence, although he is a musician. Anyways, on with the analysis.
They call me offensive, controversial. There's only two genders, boys and girls.
Okay, well, the first thing we might point out here with regards to use of language is that Tom does use genders. And I think that's actually what would you say? That's an interpretive mistake because he should have used sexes. By using genders, he fell into the trap that the leftists have laid with regards to language utilization. They're very good at occupying the linguistic terrain. There are a variety of temperaments, and that's easy to get confused with gender, and that's part of the reason we have the problem we have. And sexes would have worked because it's also a two-syllable word, and it's a minor critique, but in some ways, it seems picayune, which means minor, but it isn't. It's more important than that, because if you let your political opponents gain the linguistic territory, then they win, right? You can't, once you use their words, they win. So that's something for everybody to keep in mind.
You can't cancel my message because I'm the biggest independent rapper in the whole freaking world. Claim that I'm racist, yeah, right. I'm not ashamed because I'm white. If every Caucasian's a bigot, I guess every Muslim's a terrorist. Every liberal is right.
So with regards to every Caucasian being a bigot and his claim that then therefore every Muslim is a terrorist and every liberal is right, which is, definitely
Guys,
not.
see, I was like, I wanted to see a reaction from Jordan Peterson. I was expecting for him to like react to this song, but guess what? He's analyzing the song. Like, wow, he's analyzing it bit by bit, word by word. Ah, this guy is so good. Jordan Peterson is just so good. He's intellectuals. Ah, guys, see the way he's analyzing it, see the way he's saying it. A 3-minute rap video. See the way he's analyzing it, taking his time to break down the words, to phrase the word down, what it means, why it's important, and what it correlates to. Sorry, correlates to. I'm so sorry. Correlates to. As in, like, the thoughts though, I love it. I didn't expect this kind of thing from Jordan Peterson, to be frank. Let's continue.
Beliefs are segregating. And so that's a reflection of the fact that this woke ideology is also a perversion of the basic female ethos. It's the extension of compassion far beyond its relevant domain. And it's an extension as a consequence of pride. So the women who are doing this, there's men who are doing it too, especially those that have a more feminine temperament. They're making the claim that their love is so encompassing that everything can be brought into the circle, right? Even the snake, and that's the eternal sin of Eve, by the way. So there's a group identification claim. The fundamental claim essentially is the world can be divided into victims and victimizers. The victims are like infants. They're always good. They're always innocent. The victimizers are essentially predators. So you can see the feminine ethos in that. The problem with that is when you start to apply it to groups, you completely demolish the presumption of individual innocence. And there's no difference between the demolition of that presumption and the imposition of a totalitarian state. So now you might say there can't be that much information in those few lines, but the whole point of poetry, with its reliance on imagery, is to pack way more information into utterances than you could otherwise manage. And so a dense poem, which is the use of words to produce images, can have levels of meaning that are almost inexhaustible. That's partly why we remember poetry and poetic verse, let's say, image-laden poetic verse. We'll remember that for centuries because it's literally inexhaustible. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. It's like, well, a complex picture is worth a lot more than 1,000 words, and words can bring images to mind.
I don't want to talk to folks who don't get it. Go woke, go broke, no hope is pathetic.
Okay, go woke, go broke. You know, it's a nice rhyme, but there's something there too. And what Tom is pointing to is that if you construe yourself as a victim and you develop and you have an external locus of control, that's the technical term from the psychology research literature, then you believe that you are nothing but a pawn of circumstances that are beyond your control. And you adopt the guise of powerlessness. Now, if you could gain a moral advantage from that, you know, that's a secondary gain. That's how that would be interpreted from a psychoanalytic perspective. It's doing something that isn't good for you because there's a payoff. And so if you construe yourself as a victimizer, you only believe you're moved about by external forces. You won't develop a vision of your own. And that will mean that you're anxious and confused because you're being buffeted around by the winds of external forces. It'll mean you have no direction in your life, and that makes you hopeless. The combination of those two things will mean that you have no motivation. And the consequence of that, and we know this perfectly well because highly motivated people are much more likely to be economically successful. The consequence of that is that you won't have any money. And then, of course, you'll use that to buttress your claim to victim status, and then you're in a loop. That's the dragon that eats its own tail, by the way. That's a symbol of chaos. And then you're basically in hell. So I wouldn't recommend that, you know, as a clinical psychologist, which I still am, by the way. So, all right, next line.
Pro-choice, pronouns, pro-love, you're progressive, but you ain't pro-gun, no one to protect it.
Okay, now here's something else to understand. So imagine that you're, you know, compassionate in your basic ethos. So you have a more feminine temperament. You're high in agreeableness. Now, but you're also full of pride.
You sad. You just try to get attention, being triggered's all you have. You mad. You blame everybody else for every problem that you can.
Yeah, okay, so there, Tom talks about being triggered and getting attention that way, so that's that false cry. And then he moves into the next part of this song, which is a discussion of madness, let's say. You mad. Okay, well, mad has two meanings, right? You're angry and bitter and resentful, like Cain, who ends up killing his idol, his ideal, Abel. So you're mad, you're angry, you're bitter and resentful. Bitterness and resentment, man, those poison your soul. That plus arrogance and deceit, and you're definitely in hell. And then mad is also insane. And if you pursue these short-term strategies of hedonism and power and chaotic divisiveness, there's no difference between that and insanity. So the madness goes two ways. And of course, as you descend into madness, you're going to become more angry and destructive. And then you get another vicious circle going. So yeah, that's not good. guess it's cool to be the victim. Well, if that's all you've got, and Tom said he's not going to be the victim. And that, one of the things that you learn in the story of Job, for example, so Job is terribly tortured by God, terribly. He loses everything and becomes extremely ill. And he refuses to play victim. As a matter of faith, it's a proclamation. Everybody has a reason to construe themselves as a victim. Life is very, very difficult, and unfair things happen to people all the time. So do you play the victim? Well, playing the victim is the eternal pathway to hell, fundamentally, especially when you also then start to identify the victimizer. Because if you're a victim and you're innocent, then the victimizer is the perpetrator. And the ultimate perpetrator is nothing else conceptually than Satan himself. And so once you've placed Satan himself in the midst of a group, let's say the Jews, then there's absolutely nothing that bars your action. And so then you can have all that resentment and anger and madness. It finds its target. You wonder why the Nazis went after the Jews. It's the eternal story. You put Satan himself, right, the victimizer, in the midst of an ethnic group, which is like the definition of racism. And you play this game that all the virtues on the side of the poor innocent victims as if they're innocent babies, and they're not. And all the perpetration is on the side of the victimizers. And then you can add another twist to that. Isn't it so lovely that if you're unsuccessful, you can identify the successful with the victimizers? Because then you can attribute your failure to your own moral virtue. What a good deal for you if you really want to be insane and angry. And then it's pretty hard on the people who've been successful, isn't it? Because now you've identified them with evil itself. Now, if you take the most successful people in your culture, and I mean the most genuinely productive and generous, and you start to identify them with evil itself, how the hell long do you think your culture is going to last? Think about that. Because it's not that many people who are hyper-productive and generous. And if you take them out, you're done. And if you don't believe that, you go read about what happened in the Soviet Union in the 1920s and see what you conclude, or in Mao's China. And you'll see exactly how that plays out. And you might think if you're a bitter, resentful, angry, mad, sad victim, well, it's worth it because the whole goddamn system is so corrupt it should be burned to the ground. It's like, fair enough, but you'll be one of the people who's thrown by your carnivorous allies onto the fire first, along with everyone you love. And I wouldn't recommend that.
You said, I will never say I'm sorry, I ain't taking nothing back. I don't care if I offend you, I was put here to upset you. You can cry and you can scream, you can riot in the streets, you defunded the police, now there's no one to protect you. I hope I offend you, I ask myself what would Ben do. Let's just keep it real, facts, don't care how you feel, man. If you want my pronouns, I'm the man who don't respect you.
Okay, so there's one other thing I'll point to, and we'll draw this to a close. Let's just keep it real. The postmodern ethos that's allied with neo-Marxism, this insistence in a victimizer-victim dichotomy, is also allied with a philosophical claim. And the philosophical claim is that meaning itself is only cultural, and that it's also only instantiated in language. And if you accept that, well, then you can play the game of assuming that gender, for example, is nothing but a cultural construct and that people can be anything they say they are. Because you're making the claim that the world's reality is instantiated entirely in the semantic or the linguistic. It's the ultimate pretension of the Luciferian intellect. It's a good way of thinking about it. When Tom says, let's just keep it real, what he's pointing to is the existence of levels of reality underneath the purely linguistic. And so one of those would be, as the bloody postmodern whining nihilists have it themselves, is, well, there's a reality in the emotional sphere, right? There's the reality of feelings. Now, they're not the only reality, obviously. There's the reality of material fact. There's the reality of transpersonal value. There's a lot of different transcendent realities. And hypothetically, this is the monotheistic claim, hypothetically, all of those transcendent realities unite in a single superordinate reality. And if that's not the case, then we're bound to divisiveness. So, all right, so let's sum this up. You have a collaboration between two types of creator in this video, who are analyzing, using poetic imagery, the core elements of the culture war that's engulfed us, way down below the political, right at the level of the sacred. And they're using a blend of humor and creative imagery to lay out the conceptual territory. And they're using music to help people, music and rhythm to help people attune themselves to the argument. And allying that with a high degree of wit and a satirical intent. And so it's very masterfully done. And Ben, you know, I think in particular, Ben is to be commended here for allowing himself to enter the domain of the absurd. Now, he's got an absurdist side. It's interesting to see because he's a very straight-laced person and a very conservative person, not least as a consequence of being an Orthodox Jew. But he has this absurdist capability that allows him to capitalize on the entertaining side of things. And so that's very interesting to see manifested in this. So anyways, you never know what's going on beneath the surface, do you? Right? There's endless depths to everything. That's for sure. Everything is a burning bush, right? Everything's a gateway to the sacred if you pay attention to it enough. And that's definitely the case with cultural productions of this sort, especially when they strike a chord. And so that's why I thought it might be worth running through an analysis of this preposterous piece of artistic production. Thanks very much for your time.
Wow, guys, do you think, I think Tom and Ben Shapiro collab it was so great, it was so good. Like, I really love the way they come together to sing this song, to rap this song called Rap, as in, wow, I love it. Their collab, it makes sense. I love the way they collab together. It's really, 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 really makes sense. And one thing again, guys, I never expected the commentary to be this insightful from Jordan Peterson. Like, he's analyzing it bit by bit, words by words. Like, he took his time to actually listen to the song and understand the song. It's so insightful. Like, I should have suspected this from Jordan Peterson. And I think it's because of Ben. Yes, I think it's because of Ben that contributes for him to put this on Jordan's radar. Although Tom has been rapping ever since, even before I knew him, Tom I have been rapping. But I think this is the first time Ben Shapiro is rapping to this song, or this is the first time Ben Shapiro is doing anything song. Please, if I'm wrong, quote me right in the comment section, or you let me know in the comment section. Like, guys, I really, really love it. Like, guys, you know that I never really enjoy rap song. Even the one African play, even the one Nigerians do play, I don't really enjoy it. I'm not a fan of rap song. But guys, the moment I listened to this fact, I started laughing. The song itself was fun, it was watchful, like it was interesting. The background, everything about the song was just so good. Like, I was like, wow, these guys, they put in much effort and it was worth it. Their effort was worth it. Everything was just powerful. The imagery they used, it was just so powerful and good. The effects, everything, the band and everything, the sound, everything, the way, oh god. But Ben Shapiro hoodie, the hoodie that he wore, oh god, it's as if it's as if they forced him to wear that hoodie. But nevertheless, it's somehow fitting. Not really well. Like, I really enjoyed it, and the way Jordan Peterson just analyzed this song, just this video, 3 minutes rap video, is so wow. Like, this man, wow. He's really an intellectual. Like, he's so intelligent. Thank you, Jordan Peterson, for this. Like, it was so insightful, it was so good. I really enjoyed it. Like, I enjoyed what he just said. It was just so good. Let me know in the comment section if you really enjoyed this song, Fact, by Tom McDonald's and Ben Shapiro, in the comment section. Like, watch and subscribe to my channel, and have a wonderful day ahead. Bye bye.